never possessed the metal for this, Crusader. You fail.
The Umbral Lamp calls countless bearers across Axiom to Mornstead. Like moths to a flame, they're drawn irresistibly to the Sundered Kingdom. But its flickering light is a consuming inferno, for a great fire that rides the wind and ignites the sky guards Mornstead's now corrupt beacons of the Sentinels, a harbinger of doom to usher the demon god Adyr's long-anticipated return. This is the story of the Lightreaper, bane of the lamp bearers, his twisted origins, and his cruel purpose. From the first moments, the Lightreaper appears as the lamp bearers' greatest obstacle, their mission in Mornstead thwarted by an unyielding force. As a sinister shadow, he stalks Paladin Isaac of the Dark Crusaders across the kingdom, and delivers his final death, the last steward of the Umbral Lamp before it finds us in the defiled sepulchre. He is an abomination, an amalgamation of a Rogar demon fused with an Umbral parasite and charged with extinguishing the blue flames of Umbral lamps. The Reaper is as inexorable as time and possesses a fierce relentlessness that haunts living dreams. These characteristics are present in his appearance and accoutrements. The Lightreaper exists in multiples arms to wield many blades, multiple eyes to track all quarry. Even his demonic mount bears 3 flame-spewing heads. All this is to overwhelm his prized prey, for lamp-bearers are blessed with life beyond death. The Reaper aims to transform that blessing into a curse. He strikes with furious attacks and affords no respite. The Lightreaper's left-handed dagger highlights his unrelenting pursuit, perhaps instilled in him by his parasite, as creatures of Umbral share in the ceaseless hunger of that realm's deity. Many lamp bearers believe that their determination, combined with the resurrective power of the Umbral lamp, would allow them to outlast the ruthless hounding of the Lightreaper. But every fresh death and resultant awakening in Umbral take their toll, while the Lightreaper never wanes in the hunt. And indeed, in combat, his blistering swings wear down even the most stalwart defense. Simply, the Lightreaper is the embodiment of dread. He shatters faith and psyche in the frenzied chase, slowly whittling his prey's spirit until exhaustion and doubt fester, before he finally consumes them. We see him brandish broken lamps as trophies of his previous kills and proof of his skill. Even his mount is adorned with the shattered hopes of past lamp-bearers. A bright light, red and fierce, burns deep in the Lightreaper's chest. My interpretation is that this is the Umbral parasite implanted in him by Adyr. It shines Rogar red rather than the cool blues of Umbral, as a sign of the demon god's influence and command. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. The Reaper demonstrates another connection to the Umbral realm in his resistance to the lamp's soulflay ability. He is a creature of death, devoid of soul and thus immune to the lamp's pull. He is also strengthened and protected by the powers of an Umbral parasite during the final confrontation against him in Kalras City's ashen remains. Clearly, he is beyond Rogar, but not quite is he wholly among Umbral's nightmares. Many gods exist in Lords of the Fallen across myriad realities. They scheme and manipulate to accrue greater influence while cutting at each other's base of power, for they know one another's intentions. Adyr, the exiled god and self-proclaimed ruler of mortals, has long orchestrated his return. Fettered centuries ago by the radiant beacons and guarded by the holy order of the Hallowed Sentinels, he has slowly worked to undo his chains, to infiltrate and corrupt the land and return from banishment. But his slyness isn't beyond the all-seeing eyes of the Putrid Mother, patron deity of the Umbral realm, who moves quickly against him. Through her loyal servant Molhu, last of the Nahuta, the Mother crafts devices charged with her rapacious hunger, capable of not only dissolving Adyr's Rogar corruption, but even of consuming the god. These devices, the umbral lamps, are fueled by a fragment of her own sentience and call on those who possess them. They twist minds and alter fate to fulfill the mother's ambitions. Adyr fears the putrid mother's waxing power, even as his own is so parlously situated. His resurrection is threatened by the umbral lamps, and so his fear compels him to fight. Adyr combats the putrid mother with her own essence. He steals a small umbral parasite from her domain and through depraved rites, merges it with the seething energy of the Rogar realm. In flame and darkness, the Lightreaper is born. This we hear recounted in the lore of Severing Blades. Recognizing the threat represented by the Lampbearer mission, Adyr was able to obtain one of the umbral parasites and bind it to a Rogar, creating the Lightreaper, a creature unaware of the suspicion and disgust with which he would always be regarded by his creator. Even his master loathes him, as a being made of two worlds he belongs to neither, and so suffers the eternal torment of isolation. Perhaps Adyr's mistrust furthers the Reaper's ferocity as he desires his god's acceptance. As his name suggests, the Light Reaper is charged with hunting down and snuffing out the umbral lamps that threaten his creator's return. He is death incarnate. His parasite fills the Reaper with umbral's hunger, bestows its unremitting desire, and instills an acute awareness of its echoes within the realm of the living. The Light Reaper is drawn to lamps as the bearers are drawn to Mournstead. He feels their pull and is compelled to hunt, even beyond the command of Adyr. This we hear in the lore of the Light Reaper's spear. Existing only to carry out the will of their creator, no Rogar has ever truly known peace, but only the Light Reaper feels the inescapable, gnawing hunger which would compel him to seek out lampbearers even if he did not do so at Adyr's command. He's altogether unique, filled with a sentience and purpose outside his master's thrall, highlighting his umbral origins. Interesting too are the descriptive words of his emotion, an inescapable, gnawing hunger. This is the hunger of umbral, and many things touched by the putrid mother share such lore descriptions. In fact, it may be his sense of umbral forces that draws the Reaper to Kinringer, the fief of the Chill Curse. This land is blanketed in ceaseless snow due to a terrible curse unleashed by its Lord York in an attempt to resurrect his niece. It's greatly suggested that both his spell and the unforeseen outcome are umbral in nature, a realm of death and the cold void. Such a strong presence of the putrid mother's aura likely attracts the Light Reaper, who is waylaid by the Hollow Crow. The two fight in Kinringer's chill air, which we see in this stigma. The Reaper delivering serious wounds that hobble the Crow. It could be thought too, though, that the Reaper was merely giving pursuit to Paladin Isaac, who tried to cleanse Kinringer's corrupt beacon. As the chosen lampbearer, the Light Reaper shadows us across Mournstead's variegated environs. Not once, but 3 times do we confront him. He rends the sky and burns the earth. His attacks are fierce, his movements fast, and he demands one thing: that we give up the lamp and abandon hope. With each confrontation, death and resurrection, we feel despondency stain our heart. The Light Reaper is a foe unconquerable that relishes in our agony and wears us with exhaustion until we suffer ultimate defeat and death by 1,000 cuts. Our journey through the kingdom parallels the one who came before. Paladin Isaac of the Dark Crusaders too was stalked by the Light Reaper. His painful memories and agonizing deaths are preserved in several umbral stigmas throughout Mournstead. They weave the tale of a heart once stalwart and true, buffeted by the unceasing rage and aggression of the Rogar demon, until at last its defense is shattered by the overwhelming burden of doubt. The Reaper hunted Isaac through Calrath, Kinringer, and beyond, and bested him at every step. This failure, coupled with the paladin's concern over use of the umbral lamp, an artifact considered apostasy in his religion, ultimately drove Isaac to relinquish his charge and suffer one final defeat near the defiled sepulchre. Though he failed, we mustn't, and Isaac's fate is yet tied to the Lightreapers. The Dark Crusader spirit is summonable during the boss fight in Calras City. Isaac can rest after his tormentor is destroyed. And it's here, in the smoldering city, where we confront the Rogar demon in an ultimate battle. He holds nothing back. Adyr's fire burns within him, and his already rapid attacks grow ever more frenzied as his health dwindles. The inferno rages, and we see his mastery over magmatic forces as flaming swords pull bubbling lava from the earth. But if our metal proves firm and our blade true, the Lightreaper, the nightmare and scourge of lampbearers, is finally silenced, and the paladin might know peace. The pair's connection is further strengthened in the special art of the Lightreaper's boss weapons, which to unlock require that we summon the paladin's burden. The Lightreaper's death strips Adyr of his most capable lieutenant, and without a guardian, the corrupt beacons of the Sentinels are free to be cleansed of the demon god's malignancy. Adyr's resurrection is thwarted, his banishment made permanent. Even charged with the power of Umbral, the Lightreaper was unable to snuff out the Umbral lamp, unable to stave the putrid mother's unceasing hunger. Thanks so much for watching and listening to this video on the Lightreaper. Let me know your thoughts on this Rogar, his connection to Umbral, as well as your own insights and suggestions for future videos in the comments below. And if you're a fan of lore and storytelling, be sure to subscribe to the channel, check out the podcast where content is uploaded frequently. I want to take a moment and thank my amazing supporters over on Patreon, who make all of this possible, and I couldn't do it without their fantastic support. If you'd like to become a lore luminary for access to me, a great community, written scripts, and early video drops, head to patreon.com/thelorebrarians to learn more. Until next time, go forth and explore the lore.